Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Antorus raid boss guides. Welcome to the Portal Keeper Hasabel fight. Now for this fight, there is a tank debuff as well. It is not a frontal cleave, so they can stack, and the tanks should taunt off of each other every 3 or 4 stacks. Depending on how the fight goes, the stacks might be at 3 or they might go up to 4. Now the first thing that you should note with this boss fight is you should tank this boss in these 2 positions. Now the reason for this is that the boss will do a giant AoE and you're going to have to move across the platform. So as soon as you see Collapsing World go out, which it looks like this, move from the first position to the second one. The second ability that this boss has is they will drop a portal and a bunch of imps will come out. In normal mode, you just have to DPS these imps, take them down as fast as you can, and in heroic mode, these imps have a cast time. So you can interrupt and stun them, which I highly suggest you do, but you also have to focus them and nuke them down as quickly as possible, because if any of these casts go off, they're going to do huge AoE damage to everyone, and it's going to be a wipe. The very last ability is the Fel Storm Barrage, which you're going to see here. It's just a big line on the ground, and in normal mode you have 1, and in heroic mode you have 3 of these. So just dodge them, you should not be getting hit by them at all. Now, when this boss hits 90%, the first portal will open up. So for this portal group, what you should have is 1 tank, 1 healer, and some good single target DPSers. So your AoE DPSers stay out of the portal and DPS the imps. Everybody else goes into this fire portal, and here's how it looks. You have 1 big fire ad, and you need to interrupt every single one of his casts. Make sure that he can't get any of the casts off, especially the portal cast. That's going to be the big one that does a ton of damage. And also just avoid standing in any of the fire swirls that are projected on the ground as part of Supernova. And the very last thing, you should get someone who has really good mobility to pick up one of these fire swirls like this, take it out of the portal with them, and drop it near the dark portal just like this. Now at this point we go back into just the boss rotation, and as soon as the boss hits 60%, we have the Fel portal open up now. So the portal group needs to jump in there, and what needs to happen here is nuke the mini boss. This mini boss will every now and then put someone in a silk cocoon. That person needs to be broken out of there immediately, so DPS that cocoon as fast as you can. And for the healer that goes into this Fel mini boss, they should have good AoE heals. If not, bring 2 of your healers into this phase. And they want to keep everyone at about 50 to 60% HP, and that's because everybody here will have a debuff that makes them lose 10% of their current HP per second. So if the healers try to heal everyone up to 100% at all times, they're gonna go Now after you kill this mini boss, jump out of the platform, get back on the boss. There is going to be a new type of ad, which are spiders, and these ads will root you in place, so you do need to nuke them down so that they don't root you while Collapsing World goes out. Now at 30% we get the very last portal activated, and it is the shadow portal. So what needs to happen here is someone needs to pick up the flame, go into the shadow portal, and wait for it to fall off. Now once this flame does fall off, it gives a 10-yard AoE in which you have visibility now. If you go in here without the flame, you won't be able to hit anything, you're going to be taking a ton of damage and you'll go down. So you need this flame to help you see in the darkness. So what needs to happen now is you need to pull this boss and just DPS nuke the boss down as quickly as possible. No one should stand in the flame, because if you pick up the flame, the AoE around it goes away and you're going to have to wait until they drop the debuff 12 seconds later. The very last thing that happens on this platform is healers will get a debuff that gives them 2% of their mana back per second, but reduces their healing done by 100%. So if your healers are getting low on mana, send them over to this platform and they can keep the debuff for as long as possible without letting anyone die, and then they cleanse it off themselves and start healing again. Once you're done with this phase and jump back down, you're going to see a new type of ad. It's a Felhound. Just nuke them all down, and at this point it is a burn phase from 30% of the boss's HP all the way down to 0. So this is when you pop Lust when everybody gets back on the boss, and you only need to observe the boss mechanics at this point. So that's avoiding Collapsing World and Barrage, and nuking all of the ads that the boss is going to summon. That does it for this fight. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good luck out there.